Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're coming across my video for the first time, my name is MQ and I make reaction videos. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, turn on your notification bell so you continue seeing more updates from me. And to my returning subscribers, you guys are amazing. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the engagement on my post. I really appreciate it. Today I'm excited to check out a video from the Rope Charting guys, where they talk about why trust is dead in the US but thriving in Denmark. I'm super excited. Check out this video. Come with me, guys.
Trust in public institutions is a bedrock of functioning society. Yet, while the United States is experiencing a significant erosion in this level of trust, Denmark continues to maintain robust confidence in its institutions. So why is trust tanking in the US but not in Denmark? Over the past several decades, Americans' trust in their institutions has been on a steady decline. According to the Pew Research Center, trust in the federal government has plummeted from over 70% back in 1958 to under 20% in recent years. In 2025, the Edelman Trust Barometer revealed that 70% of Americans believe government officials, business leaders, and journalists deliberately mislead them. Events like financial crises, political scandals, and increasing polarization have further eroded public confidence. Basically, when people feel lied to, excluded from decision-making, or like the system is rigged against them, trust begins to evaporate. Denmark,
and it leads to high crime rates. Yeah, we are experiencing the same thing in Nigeria because we don't trust our government, we don't trust our institutions. Because they've misled us several times, so many times without number. You know, when we feel excluded from plans, when they make us feel like the government only serves the wealthy people or the powerful people, it makes us feel excluded from how things are being run. So yeah, it makes the masses not to have trust in the government. So we have similar challenges like that in Nigeria.
on the other hand, boasts some of the highest levels of institutional trust in the world. Danes generally trust their government, their judiciary, their police, and even their media. The country consistently ranks at the top of global transparency and corruption indices, and its government operates with a high degree of openness. There's a cultural expectation that institutions will work for people rather than against them. So what's driving this stark difference? One major factor is Denmark's comprehensive social welfare system. Now, I've talked about this on our channel before, and most people around the world are generally aware of it, but it ties into trust in a major way. When citizens feel financially secure, knowing that their healthcare, education, and basic needs are covered, it fosters a sense of stability and trust in the system. Stable systems that work foster trust across society.
And aside the trust, it reduces the crime rates. Yeah, when people are being catered for, when they know their health systems are always open to them, they have healthcare, they have job opportunities. I mean, naturally, the crime rates will reduce. There'll be low crime rates and there'll be high trust in the government. So yeah.
On the other hand, in the US, where social safety nets are knowably weaker and economic inequality is much higher, many feel abandoned by their institutions. In fact, some forces are happy to undermine that for their own advantage. That's how politics and political culture plays a role in all of this. Denmark has a long tradition of consensus-based politics. The parties work together rather than constantly engaging in ideological warfare. And don't get me wrong, it exists, and there are culture war issues in Denmark, but they're less of a focus than the practical business of government. The US, on the other hand, has become increasingly polarized, with trust in government often tied directly to political affiliation. Those affiliations are conflated with aspects of people's identity, and that diminishes trust in the system further. If people only trust institutions and government when their preferred party is in power, it leads to societal instability. There's always somebody to blame and not to trust.
Exactly.
The media landscape is another key factor. Denmark has a very strong public service media that most citizens rely on for balanced news and fun Christmas specials. Of course, there are other publications and programs with a political lean, but it's far from the media landscape in the US, where news consumption is often fragmented along party lines. If people don't even agree on basic facts, trust becomes nearly impossible to maintain. Then there's the role of corruption, or the lack of it. Now, Danish politicians have had their share of political scandals in the past, but they're largely held responsible for them, some even serving jail time. So because Danish politicians and public officials have been held to high ethical standards in the past, the perception is that corruption is rare. Now, in the US, money plays an enormous role in politics through lobbying and corporate influence. This makes many Americans feel that the system only serves the wealthy and powerful rather than the ordinary citizen.
Exactly. That's also our story here in Nigeria. The role of money in US politics is just the same thing as Nigeria. I think it's even worse here in Nigeria. The role of money in Nigerian politics is just as if the government serves only the wealthy and the powerful. And it's really bad. It makes the masses feel excluded. They are not included in the plans. They are not included in the plans of the nation. They are just there to serve the powerful. If you're not powerful or wealthy, then you are just on your own in Nigeria. And that's why we don't trust our government. We don't trust our government at all. We don't even trust each other. Do you get how difficult that is?
Citizens. When people believe that money can buy influence, that politicians are literally being bribed in full view of the public, trust in democracy collapses. Education also plays a role in shaping long-term trust. Denmark's school system emphasizes civic responsibility, critical thinking, and engagement in democracy from an early age. Now, these things aren't completely missing from US curriculums, but civics education in the States has declined over the years, and the result is that many Americans are feeling disengaged from or disillusioned with the political process. If people don't feel empowered to participate, they're less likely to trust the system. And finally, there's just everyday social trust, the belief that other people, not just institutions, are generally honest and reliable and good people. Studies show that Danes tend to trust strangers more than Americans do. And this trust plays out in small but significant ways, like leaving babies outside in strollers, we've all seen that on social media, or just relying on the honor system for public transportation, trusting that your neighbors will pick up your deliveries if you're not home. And in the US, where economic inequality and crime rates are higher, social trust is much lower. And when people don't trust each other, it's even harder to trust that the institutions that govern them are sound.
Exactly, that's what I said.
So what does this all mean? Trust isn't just about how governments function, it's about how people experience their daily life. When people feel like the system works for them, they trust it. And when they feel excluded, ignored, or exploited, that trust tends to crumble. The US faces serious challenges in reversing this decline, but examining models like Denmark can offer insights into how trust is built and how it's maintained. Now, nothing happens overnight, and something like trust doesn't exist in a vacuum. There are plenty of parts of the culture, population, and the country itself that influence trust in Denmark, as well as in the United States. And I don't think the US should just copy everything about Denmark, or any other country for that matter, but there are valid critiques of the status quo in America, and people that live there need to trust that their government can address the issues of the day. Identifying what fosters trust is part of gaining that back. That's transparency, stability, fairness, and a sense of collective responsibility. Once trust is lost, it takes a real effort to rebuild. So the question is, can the US restore faith in its institutions, or has that decline in trust become a permanent feature of American life? I'd like to think it's restorable, and of course, the answer isn't just copying Denmark or moving to Denmark. In fact, you can't just move to Denmark, even if you are unhappy with the trust levels, the political landscape, or other factors of your life in the United States. But if you want to know more about why not, or the reasons and the ways that you can move to Denmark, this video right here will give you more insights into how to do that and how I did it. Thanks for watching today, everybody. Hi.
Hi. Wow. I found this video really interesting, and the issue of trust. Trust is something that when it's broken, it's hard to be fixed. Like in this context, trust can be restored, but then there are certain factors that need to be put in place for the masses to trust their government. Like Nigeria, for instance, we don't trust our government, but that can be fixed. Trust can be restored. Those citizens can trust their government again, but then there are some things that need to be done. Number one, creating basic amenities for the masses and making sure that all services that are open to the wealthy and powerful are also accessible to the masses. Whether you have money or not, you should be able to access good health care. You should be able to get jobs even without knowing anyone at the top. Those are little things that can influence trust in the government. So if our government are willing to put these things in place, they can influence the citizens trusting the government, trusting the institutions. And that also applies to the US. The role of money in US politics and Nigerian politics is concerning. You know, when people feel that the system serves just the wealthy and the powerful, trust is naturally eroded. The masses lose trust in their government. So if the government wants to restore the trust of the people, if the government wants to earn the trust of the people, they should put these things in place. They should make sure that whether or not you are wealthy or powerful, you can access all these things that the wealthy can access. Whether you have money or not, whether you're influential or not, whatever services are open to the rich should also be open to the poor, because by the law we are all equal. We are all citizens of that particular nation. So all services that are open and easily accessible for the rich should also be accessible to the poor. By so doing, you'll see that the masses, the people, will be able to trust the government again. But it won't be easy. It won't happen in a day, because trust is something that is very easy to break but difficult to get back. So it's a gradual process. By the time the government keeps doing things that favor the people, that shows that the system serves everyone, not just the wealthy and powerful, you see that gradually the trust will be restored. So yeah, I enjoyed this video, and I love how Denmark emphasizes consensus and cooperation. It just shows that this approach helps build trust in institutions. It helps build trust in the government. And I wish that my dear country, Nigeria, will be able to do these things for the citizens to trust their government again, because we don't trust our government at all. We don't trust our government, and you won't blame us, because they've let us down severally. They've let us down several times without number. They've deliberately deceived us. So why should we trust them? It will be so difficult to trust them. But if they are willing and ready to work and put certain factors in place, influence certain areas, you see that gradually the trust to be restored. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead, give it a big thumbs up, share with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead, subscribe to the channel and hit the like button so you get notified when I post new videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.